Hello all, welcoming you to take it over to a quick overview of React.js Bootcamp. Firstly, I would like to thank you for taking time out to understand what this bootcamp is all about and why one should enroll or enable himself towards this bootcamp. What is React.js? Why should you go through this bootcamp? What do you get out of this bootcamp? Is all that is we're going to discuss over this next 10 minutes. What is today's industry's architecture? How is the development happening in the industry today? Be it service industry or be it product-based industries. All the industries have a demand towards full stack development, differentiating between front end, back end, intelligence, and so on and so forth. So all these terms are pretty new to us, right? So today the industry is moving towards a phase where they've actually redefined application development into three major sections. One is called the front end, which is basically the device through which we access the application. It can be a laptop or a desktop, or it can be a tab, and it can also be a mobile, which is widely used and which is picking a lot of traction today in the market. Everyone has a smartphone, and that's becoming a de facto standard of accessing applications. That's the front end part. The backend or the middle tier mainly focuses towards saving the data that is received from the front end into a database. That pretty much deals with how do you store data, how do you retrieve data and pass it off for the display part. The last part is intelligence. Since we've collected a lot of data from various users on their access patterns, on their likes, dislikes, etc., a lot of mining is now happening. Post the evolution of cloud, it's been very easy to provision a lot of computing power to perform such analytics as well. So all the applications are moving towards this kind of a framework. This kind of a framework also enables in scaling applications. Earlier, it used to be that a server would typically handle 100, 200 concurrent users. But today, applications are built to access thousands of users at a concurrent point in time. You would see Facebook saying that I have more than 10 lakh members concurrently accessing my portal. So today the demand is provision everything on the cloud and increase concurrent access of applications. Now that's where front end plays a very key role because this is where consumers and customers access our applications. In the front end part again, earlier phase it was plainly HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. HTML would define a few tags through which we would put out the layouts. CSS was more towards styling, coloring it, and aligning it properly. Whereas JavaScript would focus on some basic functionality like validations and bringing a little bit of dynamism into the application. The whole thing has now got reworked, and today there are three popular frameworks that are being used. Namely, one is React, the second one is Angular, the third one is Vue.js. So React.js is backed by Facebook. It was in fact developed as part of Facebook, and Facebook itself uses React for its application. It's not only that, many big companies and products are developed using the React library. We don't even call it a framework, we call it as a library. So if you take applications like Netflix, Amazon, Airbnb, Instagram, all of them use React.js for their applications. And once you're well versed with React.js, you can quickly learn React Native to easily build mobile applications as well. It's just an extension of React.js. Be it a service industry, be it a product-based company, all of them are now moving towards or rewriting their existing applications into these frameworks. That's where React fits in. That's the power of React. The expectation from the industry today, be it a fresher or be it a lateral, is be rock solid in one of the technologies, be it front end or back end or intelligence framework. But today, since this technology has evolved only a couple of years back, and it's becoming popular day by day, there is a shortage of resources, there's a shortage of developers on these front end technologies. And if you're looking for an immediate opening, an immediate career path, React.js is one for you. So you got a lot of benefits, a lot of fractions, and you can set up your career in this particular area. So what do you get in this bootcamp? So how does this bootcamp enable you to become a React.js developer? So what essentially happens is we start off again. The prerequisites for this course is you just have to have a laptop with very basic knowledge on how websites work. That's more than enough because we will teach you HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then teach you how React.js uses all three of them to easily build applications. So as I was telling you, this course would start with a very basic intro towards HTML, CSS, and vanilla JavaScript, that is the plain JavaScript. Then we move towards applications or frameworks in each of these areas. Bootstrap is a framework or a library, I would say. I wouldn't want to call it a framework. Bootstrap is a library that is used to build faster CSS. And then we understand what is Node, what is NPM, which is nothing but the server-side JavaScript where we can host our applications. And we try to understand how applications are built using Webpack. SPA is the key role player today. SPA is nothing but single page application where we do not navigate across various pages. In fact, we just manipulate the DOM and try to ensure that all the applications are loaded in a single page itself. The entire application is traversed within a single page. And then we move towards a little bit of advanced concepts with ES6, which is nothing but the JavaScript advanced concepts. And then we step into React. We try to understand what is components in React, what is JSX, and what is the component lifecycle. As with any form, as with any web app, we start developing forms, we start developing adding validations to it. So we use the form IK library to make sure we do it a little faster, and we have a standard to follow. We also use I18N to ensure that our applications are at global standard and can be translated across to various languages, be it English, be it Spanish, be it even Hindi or Tamil and so on. And then how do you move across various URLs is being handled in React routing. How do you store data on the client side? Where do you store it? How do you pass it across to the server side? You use approaches like cookies, local storage, session storage, and so on. And then how do you ensure your application is safe? We understand what is JWT. What if there are some objects to be cached, some objects to be stored and parsed? That's where we bring in Redux. That's one area where we can use it for our common storage for the entire application. How do you pass data from the client application to the server? Is through Axe iOS and Fetch API. And then all applications have to be tested today. They are either undergo manual testing or we use frameworks like Jest to do a auto testing. That's the more popular framework today. And then we also try to have a quick glance into some of the advanced concepts like hooks and so on and so forth. Right. Why should I even learn React.js? It's one of the most popular JavaScript library. It's used by almost 60 to 70% of products, that is applications that is being built today. And just a small extension of it can be used to develop mobile apps. For any fresher who has a very good knowledge, hands-on knowledge on React.js, he easily taps out close to 6-7 lakhs per year package very easily. It doesn't have to be a product-based industry. Even in service industries, there's a lot of demand for this kind of a skill. What do you get by doing that in eBox? The main part, the main crux of why you should do it in eBox is you get hands-on practice exercises which are auto-evaluated. Apart from the typical video lectures, apart from the MCQs, ebox provides you real time problems that are auto evaluated, so you can practice 24 by 7, and the system will always be there to assist you to ensure you solve it right. Apart from that, the members who handle these sessions are themselves hardcore developers. Ebox itself is built on React, and those guys who've been working on React day in and day out would handle sessions for you as well as clarify your doubts whenever you are stuck. Whenever you feel that I'm not able to crack this problem, whenever there is uh, some test case failure through which I'm not able to get it 100% right, this development team is out there to help you out pretty quickly. They will also be able to share their experiences on various concepts, on various mistakes they had made during the learning stage, and teach you the right way to approach application building. Here's a quick glance of the team which will be able to support you at any point in time. And at the end of it, you will be given a full-fledged real project that you would try and execute it. Again, this also is auto-evaluated, but at the same time, you will get full guidance to ensure that you're very confident after completing this bootcamp. The whole idea of doing it in ebox ensures that you're not theoretically strong, but you're also practically sound. So next time when you go for an interview or when you have a discussion about something on React, you will be completely hands-on. You will be able to implement it and you will be able to show the results to them, which is what every corporate expects today. They want to see their developers perform it in the project. And when you can showcase it during the interview or during a conversation, that nails it, right? Let me quickly walk you through how it looks on eBox, what is the flow structure, what are the courses, and so on. I've quickly logged into as one of the demo users, basically. And the moment you log in, this is a standard dashboard where you will see the courses completed, the number of programming problems, the number of MCQs to help you out, and so on. And typically, you will have 3 courses in this bootcamp. It would start off with a very uh, traditional HTML JavaScript course, and then you will get into ESX and so on, and then you will move to the actual React JS part. Let me quickly dive into HTML course. This would start off by covering concepts on the standard HTML practices. Just give me a minute, it's getting loaded. Yeah. So you would start off with the various tags that are available to lay out the whole application. So the div tags, the table tags, the header tags, and so on. And then you will quickly move towards the HTML5 elements. Basically, how do you have an audio? How do you place a video? How do you place forms? What are the new elements, form elements that are in place as part of HTML5? You will quickly jump across that particular part. Sorry. Then you will quickly move towards CSS, cascading style sheets, where you'll try to understand how styling actually happens. You will style lists, tables, and you will start putting out web page layouts completely. And then you will start using Bootstrap, which is typically a framework that helps you to faster design HTML, CSS style sheets, basically. And then once you move into that, you move into something called responsiveness to ensure that your page works seamlessly, be whatever the device it is. It can be a tab, it can be a laptop, it can be a mobile. Your page should be seamlessly loaded and you should have a very good user experience. And at the end of every course, you have a capstone project, which will ensure you have a complete grip of that particular course. So apart from these topics, all the topics gets branched out into 5 major sections. I learn, I explore, I analyze, I design, and I assess. I learn is a place where you will have all the learning materials. Apart from the classes that are getting handled over a duration of time, that is every hour and a half per day, you will have a class where one of our developers would come and explain you the concepts. Apart from that, you can always go back and refer these learning materials. They are typical PPTs or PDFs with audio rendering, so that you are able to kind of understand the concepts. There is also some of the resources which are very good available over the internet. They've been linked here as well. If at all we need to refer them, you can refer them as well. So a link, a typical resource would look this way, where it would just go through a video and then it's nothing but a set of slides that comes through. And quickly moving forward, you go to I explore, where it's more like whatever I've learned, let me try to answer them as simple questions. Just let me try to understand how much I've grasped, where do I actually stand. Again, it's in an adaptive mode where if at all I want to try out if I've answered it right, I can immediately check it out as well. It would give me responses immediately. And moving on, there is I analyze, which is little bit stepping towards the coding part of it. So where you will have more of code segments, and then it will be questioning you what is the output, how does it match, can you fill up a particular code segment. Exercises which will slowly push you towards coding, and you will see those kinds of exercises here. And then you will move to I design, which is more of complete programming now. So a problem statement would be given here, a scenario is given here, and then they will tell you how the screenshot should look, what should be the div IDs, and so on. You get a complete response, and then you can start working on this page. So on the right hand side, I have an editor. I'm just typing out a sample code. Just trying to comply with them. Then I'm putting out a content, just sample content. Just saving it. I can quickly execute this as well to see what is the output. I am able to see that part of it. And then I can quickly validate it, cross check it with a few test cases. The beauty of this platform is the auto evaluation part of it. So if at all I feel that my code is right, which is not in this case, I'm just submitting it to see what happens. How does the system react to it? So the system will behind the scenes execute for different scenarios and let me know whether my code works 100% right. It's more of an automation kind of a testing that is done. And it says that your solution is just passing only for 25% scenarios here, which is nothing but I'm getting the first part of the content right, but nothing else right. So I've got the first div right, I've got few lines there right, but I've not got the entire project in place. So I can go ahead, continue working on the project, try to get it right. At the same time, if I'm not able to crack this, I'm stuck somewhere, I can obviously take the mentor support. This is where the link is present. I can go here, I can raise my doubt saying I'm not able to get it, I'm not able to understand or solve the problem 80% right, or I can say what tag is used to bold or italize. So I can raise my doubts, which is answered by a technical team member sitting out on on our side. So he will respond to you within 15-20 minutes and you will be able to continue your work. So this way, you have the system doing the evaluation part and you have a manual person helping you out as well. And at the end of it, you have a ISS module. So you will have close to say, in this case, you have around 15 to 20 problems, which will completely ensure you are hands-on in this particular topic. You are actually coding it, not theoretically talking about it. And then there is ISS, which is like a timed test. You are self-evaluating yourself. So a quick summary of all the exercises that was there. So one big problem is given to you, and you've got to solve this within 45 minutes. The timer keeps running here. You have the file list present here. You quickly start coding it, and you start to understand where do you actually stand. Are you able to solve a problem or not? So every topic, every module is designed in this way. So at the end of it, you are having a very clear picture on what is your strength in this particular topic. You can go back, rework on it, get it right, and build your confidence out of it. So this is how the HTML course flows through. Quickly moving on, then we move towards JavaScript, where the idea is to teach you some basic JavaScript language fundamentals, and then the most important one, DOM manipulation and event handling. Even in React.js, be it Angular, be it Vue, These will be two important concepts that you should understand how your browser, your JavaScript, and the framework or the library works together. That's where event handling plays a bigger role, and how does DOM gets manipulated and your page gets rendered. And then you move towards objects and functions, and then you start to understand how to do problem solving in JavaScript. That's just to ensure you get all the coding syntaxes right, be it for loop, be it if condition, be it functions. You are completely in control. And then you start to understand what is promises, which is nothing but how do you make calls to the server side, how do you handle it if something doesn't work correctly. That's where promises help you. Data exchange pretty much happens between front end and the back end, either through JSON or XML. How do you pass JSON? How do you absorb JSON data? Is what you will understand in this particular topic. Then you will quickly build a small prototype of Instagram and a small cricket team creation. So where you quickly create a team, assemble team members. How the whole thing breaks down. So this is again a project which will give you a very good grip of JavaScript. Then we move to the actual React.js library. So in this library, you will start off with some advanced JavaScript concepts like collections, destructuring, and then you will start to understand what is Node package manager, which is nothing but npm, how application is built and deployed. And then we step into React. We try to do some basics about it. We understand what are components, what is props, states, what is the component lifecycle basically, how does a code actually flow through. And then you start to understand how forms are validated in React, how do you access React elements outside its context, and then getting the routing right, which is nothing but how do you traverse across multiple pages or subparts of your application. How do you fetch data from a backend? How do you store it temporarily? How to build charts? How to use hooks? And some more event handling. And at the end of it, you will do a capstone project, which is a full-fledged application that is out there. That itself runs for a week's time, where you completely model the entire components that is required for React, connect everything, and make it work. And once you're done with this bootcamp, it will give you the confidence that you can start doing projects on your own. And once you apply for various organizations or companies, you will immediately be able to showcase your skills. At the same time, since there's a lot of demand for React developers, we ourselves help in placing you in good companies with good projects. That's also given as part of React.js Bootcamp, where we do a lot of assistance towards placing you in good companies under good profiles. So hope you understood and enjoyed the benefits of React Bootcamp. Hope you enroll soon and see you soon in the bootcamp. Thank you very much.